Hello everybody and welcome. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a news update. We're going to be going over the status of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, the apology and the explanation on why the launch was so bad, and the wish list and all the information that you could possibly think of that you would need to know, especially will you be able to install Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on your local system? You'll find out right here. So first off, there was the live stream update, development update yesterday on Twitch through Microsoft and Asobo. And they were explaining on why, and they were very, very disappointed. They were very apologetic, and they were very, very mad and disappointed on how the launch went. And stay tuned to the end of the video. There will be they did announce something that they're going to do free for us. But so it wasn't the server and it wasn't the client that was the issue. It was in the middle between the server and the client. It's called a CDN, a content delivery network. This is the same. They use the same thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And what it is, it actually it pulls. So when you contact the server or their systems, it pulls data, and it basically pulls the packets to deliver to you. That system that would query the server to pull that data was overwhelmed, and it was so overwhelmed that on I think it was the first day of launch, the system had a package request of over 100 billion requests, and it overloaded the system to the point where it didn't and it failed. And when they were trying to scale it up live so they can fix it live, but it wasn't working. It wasn't scaling like they wanted. It wasn't alleviating the pressure valve essentially, and so they had to move the entire infrastructure to a brand new infrastructure. And since they've moved that infrastructure now, the sim is now working at 99.99% efficiency. They did provide like a graph or pie charts, which I'll throw up on the screen, of the actual servers and their state, and they're all looking green. They're all looking good. They're all working efficiently. And yeah, it looks like they fixed that end. And now, since then, I haven't had a single issue with the sim. It's been running flawless. Load times are real fast, and and it just looks beautiful. Sim looks absolutely amazing, and I love it. And yeah, they put out some more information too. A lot of it's really, really good information too on download status, if you can download stuff to your computer, your local computer. They also said that the aircraft career and world can be updated now server side, and will no longer need sim updates. So in the background, when you load into the sim, you may or may not know that there was an update. So you won't have constant updates like, oh look, you have to download this. Everything happens server side. You will not be impacted when you load in. That's amazing in my opinion. That's great. It actually provides a more seamless service, especially if they can make it actually work and consistently. But yeah, it's going to be awesome that they can update the servers whenever they want. So I know that they every Thursday they do some type of update to the sim where, hey, the marketplace update. They're able now, I think, to do updates whenever they want. So a plane comes out and it was submitted to Microsoft. I'm pretty sure, from what it sounds like, is that those planes will be able to come out almost when they're ready, not just have to wait till Thursday. It's at least how it feels. We'll wait and see on how that actually ends up working out. Other information is that the sim updates will now be quarterly. So your sim world updates will now be quarterly. So every quarter you'll get those updates to the world. I know today, I believe it's right now, December 5th. It's a Thursday. There was supposed to be a world update, I believe, today for Brazil. That got delayed. It's going to be now January, February of next year when that Brazil update comes out, which they provided some good information on that as well. Lots of good viewpoints, lots of good details. Rio de Janeiro looks like it's going to be a beautiful city to fly around. Yeah, just all around, lots of good updates, but they gave more information on whether or not we can actually load the sim locally on our computers at home. That data that they provided is invaluable right now, because it is impossible. In my eyes, it would be almost impossible. It would take more money than the sim is even valued at that point. Like, so I bought the premium deluxe, which was like what, $140 after taxes, and but you're gonna need a lot more than, you need to spend more than $140 to be able to load your sim 100% on your computer yourself, because they said the core, and I'm emphasizing the core because the core does not include the maps, the planes. It's just the core physics and how the coding and all that kinds of stuff. There are so much at work in the background of the sim that I can't even describe half of them. But they did say the local storage you would need to be able to load the core flight sim is 1.4 terabytes. 1.4 terabytes. That is a lot. You would need a 2 terabyte drive or M.2 solid state hard drive, preferably not a hard drive because that's old school and it probably wouldn't be able to respond very fast, but M.2 would be definitely ideal. Anyways, 1.4 terabytes. That's a lot of storage you need. And they also did the math. They broke down the math on how long it would take to install or download and get into sim 1.4 terabytes. So to download it and to get into sim, it would take 25 plus hours. 25 hours to do a downloading, be able to get in the sim. That's a long time, and I know I wouldn't be willing to wait that long. No way. That's insanity. I'd rather, at that point, yeah, I understand why there's cloud streaming this. As long as they can continue on the track they are on improving the system, I understand. This would be like, in my eyes, the largest game ever made with that type of storage capacity, or storage capacity needed. That's enormous. And I will tell you actually more data. There is satellite data they provided on how much storage that takes. And if you wanted to have that all local on your computer or streamed, preferably streamed is what you're wanting. But you know, if you wanted that all local, it would be astronomically. There's no storage in the world like a average user would be able to get their hands on. Their average user would not be able to get this storage. Anyways, back on track. So they also stated that the average user, from the data they've seen in the sim, the average user uses 5 gigs of data per hour in the sim. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, really. And that's, yeah, like I said, average user. There's plenty of above average users, and I'm kind of curious on what the above average user uses. I'm probably one of those people. But yeah, they also said that, yeah, like I said, all data is going to be server side updates. So we won't see those updates. They're all in the background. They're all done. So like patch 2, I didn't even see a patch 2, honestly. And that's all, like they said, in the background. We won't probably even notice it unless we get in the sim and there's some changes to the looks. Yeah, and they did say that the patch 3 is next week, and that is going to have multiple fixes. So I'm going to go through the list of fixes from patch 3 as follows: too bright, unrealistic, and over-exaggerated airport and night lighting. Cessna 172 Classic electrical systems not functional. Wind and turbulence in career mode is ridiculous. FS 2024 CTD when adjusting Tobii eye tracker curves. Cannot unselect streamed packages in my library. And the PC-24 aircraft is completely broken. I haven't touched that aircraft yet, or that plane, and apparently, though, I'm glad I haven't, because it's completely broken. But those are going to be the fixes in the next upcoming bug fix. Now you see all the other stuff in here. They're under investigation for the live weather, mouse. There's a mouse-free look, access crosstalk, overly sensitive. I mean, there's a bunch of things that they are going to be they're looking at. I'll have, like, you can see it on the screen, everything there. You can pause to check out what it's there. But there's also a wish list. So there's one thing off the wish list that's coming into the patch 3, and that is give us the ability to disable / download anything from the marketplace. That is a good thing to see, because I have MS scenery in my library. I have a couple planes. The B-52 is one of them. I would love to get rid of that out of the sim so I don't ever see that in my library, my hangar again. I want it gone. There are certain planes that I just don't use and don't need, and so that's a good thing. Now, they did say in a future update that we will be able to download aircrafts and airports to our local computers, so that we're not streaming it. It's all there, all local. So it's definitely going to be helpful on that end, especially if you fly out of certain airports very, very often. You can have it locally, so you don't have to worry about streaming and then getting bogged down. They are thinking of local things to do, local storage ideas, but obviously the entire sim itself, impossible. They said that the marketplace, they also mentioned the marketplace for flight sim Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 will not open until 2025. So really early 2025 is when the marketplace will be opening. And that is due to the fact that they are trying to give the developers, the third-party developers, enough time to make sure that their products meet the needs of the customers, so they're not getting a bad rap. So I understand what Microsoft's trying to do, and I applaud them on trying to make sure that they get the best product possible. And it's awesome. I mean, they're trying their hardest. They absolutely are. Now, this other data point they gave. So, satellite data that they have for the sim. They have it from a single pixel all the way up to a 8K as well, quality. And they will only upload or download into the sim as needed. So if you're like super close to the ground and there's 4K available texturing, it'll go in. It should go in. But if you're not looking at, I'm not looking out my left window in this plane, so it will not show me that texturing unless I move over. It'll then load. There's a lot of aspects to this, but there's a reason why they're not letting us to load in all satellite data to the sim, or from the sim to us locally, because the amount of data they stored for satellite is 3 petabytes. That's right, that starts with a P. 3 petabytes. That is 3,000 terabytes of satellite data that they have in their data centers. That is stupid amount of data. And I've worked in data centers, and they have exabytes upon exabytes worth of data available, like storage. But yeah, petabyte, that's a lot. And no one in their right mind would have that much data locally in their house. Unless you're some type of IT genius or IT person like me. But I don't have a petabyte. I know that. I can assure you that. I'm close to a single. But yeah, there's a lot of news going out there and a lot of good stuff happening, and the sim is going through a good change. It's getting better. It's already substantially better than the week of launch. Now, they did say that they will be giving us something for free for all of our trouble and all of our patience with Microsoft. They're giving us 4 free planes, and they're the 4 free planes from the local legends and famous flyers. They've already announced 2 of those planes, and the first one is the local legend 20 Cap 4. Good looking plane. I'm really interested in seeing what that does. And then the next plane would be the local legend, not local legend, the famous flyer 11 let me rephrase that. The famous flyer 11 Cessna 185 Foxtrot. So those are the 2 planes, but the other 2 planes they have not announced. They have not been unveiled. But yeah, Microsoft recognizes that this sim has a lot of bugs. Has a lot of bugs, and they're very disappointed in the state that the sim is with those bugs. And they're working hard. That's why they've delayed a lot of things, because they want to make sure that they can fix the issues before they start flooding in all this new content. There was even talk in the wish list, I believe it was the wish list, on being able to spawn in jobs on free flight or make your own flight plans and career. There's definitely some changes going on. There's ideas being thrown around that I think would be beneficial for the sim, and I almost think if they can work this sim for many years, they won't need a new sim for like 5, 6, 7 years if they can continue with this build. I don't even think they should have moved away from 2020. It may have needed an overhaul. I know they wanted to move over to 2024 because it's brand new physics, brand new engine, new design. They had all these new things they added to the sim, which I really think has improved the quality of life. But I'm hoping every Thursday or sometime during the week I'll give some news. I know that a little bit of news on the developer side is that India Foxtrot Echo, they're working on working on their 2024 planes, or at least planes from 2020 to move over to 2024. Same with Top Mock Studios, they're doing the same thing. Echo 19's working on their sound pack, and also putting in 2 new liveries for the F-18, and so on. They're all the developers are working really hard to make sure that the sim is in a good state, or at least their products are in a good state before launching. There's people that are already putting out, or at least are already putting in the 2020 planes in 2024 and finding bugs. I'm right now, I've done the TOG Huey. The Huey flies phenomenal right now in the state that it's in. There are still a few bugs though. I have a video coming out on that one. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to start doing news updates, and it's going to be kind of an informal chat with everyone like this in the sim. It's not going to be super formal. It's a work in progress, so bear with me. And thank you very much. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, hit that button for me. It really helps me out. The channel is growing exponentially, and I like where we're going as a community. If you haven't already liked that, or join Discord. I'm going to start putting up news items as well in there. So when something's breaking, I will put it right out right there, right then. Or right then and there. But yeah. Have a good one, everyone. Later.